YouTube, welcome in! Today we're gonna be watching European Stereotypes explained by Leopolda. As you may know, I am the Polish kiddo, so I hope we're gonna have fun together with this one.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah!
The Nordics.
Oh.
The British Isles. Southern Europe. Western Europe.
Ooh!
Fake Europe. We all have our own
fake
stereotypes.
one?
And today
Yeah.
I'm going to be going through all those European regional preconceptions and
Yeah.
rating if said stereotype is accurate or not on a scale of
Yeah.
1 to 10. Basically, random myth busting, but yo, I'm European as well, so it's
Yeah.
okay. I swear it's okay, guys. First off, Germany. The general kind of stereotype for these guys is that they're obsessive recyclers with no sense of humor at all. The idea of them in my head is that they're either rich, clean-cut, balding, lycra-wearing guys called Wilhelm or some shit, and they always wait if there's a red light at the crossing, even if there's not a car in sight. Or they're on the complete other side of society, football hooligans or techno gimps, or both. And the only time these two types of Germans cross paths is at 6 AM when the unhinged techno goblins are on their way home from the club, completely fucked up, and the clean-cut Germans are on their way to their €300,000 a year job, designing eco-friendly toilet seats or some shit, using a sustainable form of transport, of course. I actually wrote that before I visited Germany a couple weeks ago, and now that I'm back, I can say for a fact, whilst it turns out not everyone wears lycra and pedals €1,000 bikes like it's a matter of life or death, they are absolutely obsessive with recycling and also crossing the damn road in the correct way. This was genuinely the worst thing about Berlin. Berlin might actually be the best city on earth if they A, didn't have the Brandenburg Gate, and B, didn't care so much about fucking jaywalking. Like, I'm trying to get places, man. I'm trying to be efficient with my time. If there's not a car in sight, I don't want to hear a fucking collective
Yeah!
from the crowd of people waiting when I inevitably cross the fucking road, dude. It's my life, okay? If I evaluate something that's risk-free and perfectly sensible for me to do, I will do that. You know what I won't do? Blindly follow orders that make no sense. Sound familiar, Germans? Yeah, so I was in Berlin with the boys, right? One day, I woke up late. Everyone was on the other side of the city already. And like a true German, I cycled from Schöneberg to like fucking Mitte. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, during this bike ride, I kid you not, I got told off by the police for giving way to them. I was in the bike lane at an intersection. My lights were green, but there was a police van turning towards the crossing. So naturally, I stopped dead in my tracks like we do in the UK. Turns
Why
out...
would you do it? Bro, you got the green light. If they didn't use the signals, you got all the right to just go ahead. It's just like how the street is working. It doesn't matter if you are in a car or on a bike. You got the green light, you go in.
My generosity and submission to the authorities was offensive to these guys. The 5 German bike-obsessed weirdos behind me start screaming. The policeman leans out the window and shouts what I can only imagine in a German translation is "Fucking cross the road, you English." That's how crazy they are about following the rules in this country.
No, bro, there are just rules for the moving on the roads, and that's normal everywhere. Isn't it? It's not like who has the biggest vehicle goes fast. It's like who got the green light goes fast, right? Even me without the driving license, I know this.
Rules literally take higher precedent than the police themselves. Regarding my initial perceptions of German people, in truth, they are actually probably more of a hybrid between these two stereotypes I had. Because, for example, in Berlin, I swear to God, we was in some dingy, dark, degenerate techno club. All the insane shit you can imagine happening. So many fucking laws being broken. But on God, in the corner, there was a bin with all the special recycling sections in it. Germans could literally partake in the freakiest fucking most illegal, immoral, insane shit your brain could ever comprehend, and then refuse to throw their glass bottle in the wrong part of the bin. It's truly a phenomenon. I'm thinking 7 out of 10 for accuracy.
I love it, bro. I like the one specific stereotype about them just drinking a lot of beer in general. That's the one we lack in there, definitely.
Austria and Switzerland are almost exactly the same. However, their stereotype is a lot more based around cattle herding and stein sinking. More rural, less German baller. I've been to both these countries now, and the only really massively standout stereotypical thing that's 10 out of 10 correct is the fucking price of shit. I paid 30 euro for a Burger King.
Oh yeah.
Quid for a shitty Burger King, not even a Mackey's. A Burger King! In Vienna, if you live there, the price of housing is actually dirt fucking cheap because, you know, they actually care about their citizens. But if you go as a tourist and you're trying to like book somewhere to stay, oh my god, man. I was literally scrolling booking.com doing the Napoleon pose. This was me, fam. The prices are insane. All of this went half an hour over the border. You can get a literal fucking mansion for 20 quid a night. Switzerland especially though is very well known for being ultra expensive, and I definitely fucking found out. So this is like 100% accurate, okay? I back this with proof. The craziest thing I came across in either of these countries though, which really supports my previous jaywalking insanity claims, is that in Vienna, yeah, they got very decent fines for crossing the road in the wrong way. But the wildest thing about this is that if you jaywalk and people follow you and jaywalk as well, you get their fines added to yours because like you instigated it, apparently. What the fuck? Yeah, not gonna lie, both these countries live up to their stereotypes. 8 out of 10. Now, the Benelux region, that's Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. These guys are seen as like Germany light. They're still very hyper-focusy and OCD about trains, recycling, cleanliness, and bikes. These guys love their bikes more than their significant others, I swear.
I don't know why, but so much of the Western Europe is so hyper about bikes. Here as well in Eastern Europe. I don't know why, but we just love bikes. That's it. You got so many bike roads. You got so many cheap bikes to get. And like, you can basically find bikes everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? I don't know why we are so hyper about it, but I love it. I absolutely do love it.
However, they're also like Germans in that with great strictness and compliance comes a desperate need for an outlet, something gritty, disgusting, and naughty. Hardstyle gabber, skinheads, football hooligans. But what about big stereotypes? First things that come to mind are waffles, both Belgian and Stroop waffles, canals, windmills, and DRGS. Yeah, a big stereotype we have for them in the UK at least is that these guys are massive heads. I'm talking bags of anything. Specifically for the YouTube employees watching, I'm talking about big shopping bags full of Belgian beer and moule frites. Yeah, I don't know. There might be some truth with this stereotype though, because I would have to be cooked out of my mind off Rotterdam high grade or something a lot stronger to consider this shit as potential food. Surely only
Okay. Fishes are disgusting, okay? The bread with the chocolate sprinkles? Yeah, that's disgusting as well. But the rest of it doesn't look so bad. Like, listen, it might not look the best, but it probably tastes pretty fun. Like, look at these. You got some sausages. And now, whatever it is, maybe I should take back my words. No, I'm okay, maybe it doesn't look the best, but I'm sure it does taste at least average.
People eat this shit. Realistically, the drugs are more of a touristy thing, along with the windmills and waffles and canals. And if there's one thing that would deeply hurt a Beneluxian citizen, it's labeling them based off what British tourists do in their lands. I'm gonna say 2 out of 10 for accuracy. Otherwise, I will have a Dutch revolution in the comments. They'll all just angrily spam that one word they always comment for some reason. Hungary. Their general stereotype is that they're mean and most likely involved in some kind of crime. Now, this one is just not true at all, man. In reality, I found that Hungarians are actually quite nice, hospitable, and involved in crime. So, 5 out of 10. Next up, Italy. I guess the main kind of stereotypes about Italians is that they're all either working for mafia mobsters or are the mafia mobsters and care way too much about food to be in a good financial position. Crime and food go hand in hand in this country. So much so that you will end up with shit like an entire multi-million-dollar mafia based around tinned tomatoes with some really atrocious crime involved.
But the only stereotype about Italian people I know is that they're hella into food. They just love their food. And if you're gonna do one thing, not by recipe, not with the specific type of ham they ask you in a recipe, they're gonna burn you alive like a witch. That's all I know, okay? That's all I know. But though, I think I know a few Italian people who are actually like this. I was trying even to say to them, try the pizza with a pineapple, and it tasted good. It was fine. I would eat it again if I could. They absolutely started hating me from that moment. They started calling me names, but we are still friends.
Amazing. Overall, as far as I can say though, honestly, seems like a relatively accurate stereotype if we're talking southern Italy. However, from Bologna upwards, different world completely. Lamborghinis, designer clothes, thick pizza, white buildings, white people, you name it. So I'll give this stereotype a 5 out of 10 for accuracy. Portugal, these guys have serious Balkan allegations. Because when you compare it to Spain, right, the big difference is that when they fell off, when the economy crashed and everyone got super poor in Spain, they rapidly urbanized. Now you're left with two of the biggest cities in Europe and nothing else. Everyone lives in Madrid or Barcelona. However, when the same fall off happened in Portugal, they just kept farming. They stayed pretty damn fucking rural. They didn't do anything to rectify the situation. So they're just poor and agricultural now.
Basically, man, you gotta stay farming, bro. Don't let industrialization deceive you. Don't focus on no urbanization. Bro, you gotta stay farming. Make it's legal too, bro. I don't know. Just stay farming.
When you combine this with how they essentially speak Russian, Spanish, you're basically looking at a Balkan country. When I was in Porto last year, I remember seeing a totally wrecked, falling down house with a shirtless Portuguese man drinking a massive super bock outside it, directly under the massive bridge, which is literally Porto's main tourist attraction. In Madeira, I was on the bus and the seat was stuck permanently reclined and the fan above me was dripping brown liquid.
Bro, but those views, huge!
Hey, I've been to Eastern European countries which are less Eastern European than Portugal. I swear. Those stereotypes, those Balkan allegations are 100% true. I mean this in an endearing way, okay? I love Eastern Europe. Now, I was thinking, who could confirm this stereotype for me? Who do I know that could confirm this one? Well, how about...
Hey guys, didn't see you there. My name is Motherfuckers, Roman. I'm a Russian YouTuber and welcome to my hood in Russia. No, it's not. This is actually Portugal, Lisbon. I know guys, crazy. Look at what's around me.
Hell yeah!
Who moved to Europe, to Western Europe, here to Portugal. I've been pretty
love this view.
Intimidated by the look of Western Europe. I was not really used to it. However, when I'm in areas like this, quite honestly, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, it does feel like home with all of those buildings.
Because a lot of the views here are close to my heart. So yes, you asked me to confirm that Portugal is indeed Eastern Europe, and as a certified Eastern Europe expert on YouTube, I definitely confirm.
You know what European nation loves coming to Portugal? Especially this bit of Portugal, that's Brits. Now, I've talked about Britain and British stereotypes way too much already. So I'm going to hand this over to a certain Filipino man who is cursed with the burden of living in the UK to hopefully give a new perspective on the situation.
Yeah, I got a few things to say about the British, right? There's a few stereotypes out there. Okay, there's loads of stereotypes out there. And today I'm going to address all of them because I am a British expert. I've lived among them. I've eaten with them. I've slept with one of them. I know everything about these motherfuckers, and I'm gonna tell you about it.
Number one, bad teeth.
Yeah, they do. They do have awful teeth, and I don't know why. Apparently they got good dental care, but they're always crooked or yellow. I think it's due to inbreeding. Number two, their women are ugly. Now, all women are beautiful, but I can see where the stereotype
comes from. Number three, they drink tea. This is kind of a pussy one, I can't lie.
And yeah, I guess they do like tea. I don't know, I've seen more coffee drinkers though, and like tea is kind of mid, and you kind of think about it, it's not really
hard enough. Number four, they're all on coke. This one I just made up myself. This isn't like a prominent stereotype, but yeah, they're all on coke. All of them. Bricklayers, they're on coke. Street workers, they're on coke. Bin men, they're on coke. Racist? Yeah, they're racist. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Leo, I hope you're happy. I got...
The Irish stereotype...
I don't know, I don't understand anything out of it.
Stereotype is literally just alcohol. I guess the only other thing they're really cursed with abroad is, you know, being mistaken for British people. And as anyone with any slight knowledge of history will know, this is about the worst thing you could possibly even think in front of an Irish person. And whilst Irish people do tend to appreciate a bit of a moderate drink, let's say, the British Isles stereotype is so unforgivable. I'm gonna have to give this one a 2 out of 10. Spain. Now, I can think of a couple big Spanish stereotypes. A, it's just flooded with the worst humans you could ever encounter in your life. British tourists. And unfortunately, despite them doing their best job at discouraging such behavior, I can confirm this stereotype about Spain. I've been on the bus through Marbella. I've seen things, straight traumatizing things that have given me so much shame for having this accent. But there are places, smaller towns, cities, without the plague of British expats. The problem is, no Spaniards actually want to live there because there's no economic opportunities. And when there's houses going for cheap in the Spanish countryside, you know who slips in? Fucking Brits. I mean, they already own a fucking peninsula of your land. And with all the Brits buying up the entire real estate supply here, I think we could be looking at a total takeover by 2050. This stereotype is going to be getting a 10 out of 10, sadly. I've seen it with my own eyes. If you don't want to come across like one of those ignorant tourists, the best way for you to fit in, to respect the culture, is to learn the language. That's where italki comes in. Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you will really focus on your speaking and listening, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions. For me, that's about 10,000% more useful than what I get out of conventional lessons. When I took language classes in school, I genuinely didn't gain any useful conversational skills. But 30 minutes on italki with my teacher, and I already had the basic phrases down.
So basically, you just say, hello, how are you? You would just say something like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Can you say hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Very good.
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, there's over 30,000 teachers and you can find the perfect one through some easy filtering. And best of all, with italki, you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions and lessons are priced from only $5. You get 3 trial lessons which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved. Start your language learning journey now with a link.
Do it! But also, a small tip from me as a person who speaks few languages. If you're trying to learn a language, try to surround yourself with this specific language. So let's say you want to learn English because you don't know English, okay? Hypothetically, what you're gonna do, you're gonna listen to English videos, you're gonna listen to English music, you're gonna watch some English movies. Maybe you're gonna try to write something in English, maybe some kind of fanfics or anything. That's what I did when I was younger. I was writing fanfics in English. But basically, just surround yourself with the language so you can absorb all of it, okay? And it goes like this for every possible language. It's way easier to learn this way, and with actual speaking lessons, etc. It does help a lot.
Link below in the description, and don't forget, use that promo code GEOPOD24. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more. So be quick, sign up now. italki is actually holding a language challenge from now till mid-October. You want to win rewards and get motivated to reach your language goals? If so, sign up for the italki language challenge today and surge past your language goals. Do it. The lack of work relates to the next stereotype though, which is that Spaniards are lazy. Now, this mainly stems from the fact that in Spain, everything closes at like fucking 1:30 p.m. There's no Spaniards out on the streets. You're stuck with the Brits for a couple hours. This is because these fuckers have what's called a siesta, which means midday nap. They essentially pause everything they're doing and sleep for a couple hours in the middle of the day. It's so fucking funny, man.
Wait, what? 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 3 hours break in the middle of the day. Are they open at least like really late into the night or something? If not, then I feel so bad. I feel so bad for this.
I love how Spaniards will defend this shit by reasoning that in Spain it's just too hot in the middle of the day to work, which I agree with. But the problem is the rest of the fucking world does not agree with this. On Wikipedia, there is a official list of countries ranked by average yearly temperature, which for some reason has 235 places listed as countries countries. I think it's territories too. I don't know. But anyway, place your guess. Out of 235 countries and territories, where does Spain rank for average heat? Surely it must be top 20 if it's so hot they gotta sleep for 3 hours in the middle of the day. No? Okay. Top 50, surely.
Yeah.
Okay. Top 100 then. Easy. No? Oh, it has to be top 150. No! Oh my god, Spain is listed as 166th out of 200 countries and territories for average heat. That's in the lowest fucking quarter of world heat. This is why everyone calls them so lazy. Look, do you think you'd see some geezer in Senegal taking a 3-hour nap in the middle of his work because it's too hot? No! And it's like 45 degrees on a cold day out there. Honestly, 10 out of 10 on this stereotype as well. Sorry, Spaniards, but you can't defend this, surely. France. Now, in
Bro, I feel like he just hates the Spanish here.
Britain, we have some interesting views on the French. A friendly rivalry, you might say. Basically, just arguing over who can have the slightly less shit capital city with 10 million people that's cold and ugly, and on the other side of the channel. In my opinion, London clears, but we can talk about that some other time. In brief, the stereotype about these guys is that they're rude, arrogant, stuck up, posh, lazy, smelly, and yeah, in general, quite bad hygiene, which is quite the claim to make as British people. Whilst,
Bro, those two, they ain't even, they don't even look disgusting. It's not that they look disgusting, they look painful. I can feel the pain from this. Ew.
This might be a little bit true. From my first-hand experience, I mean, some guy literally tried to fight me for giving a homeless man money the first night I was in Paris.
What?
Because it encouraged him to be homeless. You stupid British man. I am better than you in every way, you scum. I eat snails and cheese you can't even comprehend, putain. However, I do actually think there are a lot of really nice, down-to-earth people who live in France. For example, the non-French people who live there. So 6 out of 10 for accuracy. What about Scandinavia? The Norwegian stereotype is that they're all old-fashioned, bearded, gnome-like men smoking pipes, fishing for salmon in a fjord. This is completely incorrect. They're actually fucking ballers. And I have a conspiracy theory that Norwegians came up with this rhetoric in order to hide all the masses of fucking money they're making from public knowledge, so they never have to share out their resources or their trillions, and they can keep on being fake leftists and keep all their money to themselves. Completely untrue. 0 out of 10 for accuracy. The stereotype about Finns is that they're drunk rednecks and have nothing to do all day apart from drink Finlandia and drive heavy machinery. This is honestly probably about 80% true, because you gotta factor in the 600,000 startup tech ballers that have slick back hair and gilets and basically generate all of Finland's GDP. 8 out of 10 for accuracy. Swedes are kind of seen as the annoying, bragging relative that actually knows how to make money, has an actual population of more than 200 or whatever the other Nordics have, and thinks they're better than everyone else, to the point where they don't even bother socializing with other people. Hey, this might be a little bit accurate, like 5 out of 10 or something, but you know, why gotta be so. I spent multiple hours of my life working on a section of this video that was meant to be here, but the entire thing got copyrighted.
Why?
It's 7 a.m. in the morning.
Oh no.
The sun has completely set, and I am pretty done with editing this video. So what I'm gonna do instead is summarize the key points that we're meant to be playing now.
Okay.
So essentially, the Swedish stereotypes of the other Nordic countries is number 1, Norway, rich. To accentuate that point, I have a $200 million Zimbabwean banknote. Yeah. Now, Finns are absolutely drunkards, but
they cool.
They are cool drunkards.
Yeah.
Danes, however, they're not cool, but they're drunk. And then finally Iceland. I mean, they don't really like exist, do they? Okay, bro. Sorry that we actually have humans living in our country, not just like animals. Oh wait, you don't even have them, because you like genocide them. Danes are seen as like essentially incapable of fucking talking normally. They have the most horrendous accents known to man, and aside from the interesting animal stuff, they're generally seen as woke, head in the clouds, painting their entire apartment white, introverts, and depending on who you ask, Danes are either Germans that think they're better than Germans, or Swedes that think they're better than Swedes. This is true, relatively. 7 out of 10. You know who surprisingly possesses a similar personality trait? Czechians. They are Slavs that think they're better than Slavs. At least in the UK, I think the stereotype about Czechians is that they're making, beer guzzling, crime affiliated Eastern Europeans. But this is fucking wrong. From experience, these guys totally distance themselves from all of Eastern Europe. But they have...
Nah, listen! I would say they are way nicer. Pepik fans are way nicer than people in Poland, for example. Okay, Pepik stonks. Ahoy to Czech people.
The worst roads in Europe. They have endless forests of commie blocks.
No, wait. There's actually one. I don't know if I can even call it a stereotype. But basically, Polish people love Czech memes because Czech language and Polish language is really alike. So we absolutely love them because it sounds like a broken Polish. And I know Polish language sounds like a broken Czech language to them as well. So it's always so cute to see Czech memes. At some point, you can understand most of them, but they sound absolutely cute to us because they are so weirdly written for us. But then there are always some kind of like really cute interactions between Polish and Czech people. Like a Czech person called Polish language small tomato. It was like język polski jest jak mały pomidorek. Something like this. And people were so in love with this quote that Polish language for Czech people is like small tomato. We have no idea what does it mean, but apparently it means it's cute. And I totally stand by this. I love our Czech neighbors. Pepik.
Outside of Prague, gambling is super popular. Beer and cigarettes cost nothing. Corruption and crime is prevalent, but they still pretend that Czechia is Western Europe. Hell no. They literally changed their country's whole ass name for the sole purpose of sounding less uncivilized and disgustingly Eastern European and more German and good. The only accurate stereotype I've heard about Czechia is that their language sounds silly. So I'll give it a 1 out of 10 for truth. The other Slavic countries are a bit different though, because unlike Czechia, they don't completely despise their own identities. Instead, they actually have a lot of pride in their own identities. Actually, a bit too much fucking pride in their own identities. For example, Poland will refuse to take one singular immigrant because we need to preserve our cultural identity. Whilst at the same time, I'm pretty sure they have the biggest fucking diaspora in the world. Like 20 million Poles live abroad. The double standard is crazy. Uncle Ruckus type shit. I guess the stereotype about these guys is that they're drunk, violent, pickle-eating, cold-enduring meatheads. And that's not true, okay? Whilst they might have a tendency to fight brutal wars against each other despite being extremely similar, just having a bit of a border between them, in general, I think these guys kind of defy the stereotypes. I've been to Poland a bunch, and funnily enough, they're like 10 million times more advanced than Czechia. Everything's spotlessly clean, transport systems are super efficient, the roads are super well maintained, the shops are so convenient, especially Żabka, truly one of the best establishments in Europe. Poland is honestly more like a German city than any other German city I've visited, and if anything, the British tourists are the badly behaved, drunk, violent ones out here, not the Poles. So 4 out of 10 for accuracy. The Baltics...
That's good, I think. Also, a small thing for you guys in general. Polish people love to hear anything about Poland. And because Poland in general was always so skipped in anything, basically, even in memes sometimes. So Polish people love hearing anything about Poland. And that is the thing. If you make a video, if you see a video, and there's anything about Poland in this video, short, TikTok, anything, okay? Even just a random meme, and it will have anything to do with Poland, you will have thousands of people spam in the comment section being like, Polish mountain! Polska górę! Yeah! Or something. You know, it can be just a small one sentence about Poland in the whole video, and they still gonna spam and they still gonna be like, yeah! Poland mentioned! Yeah! We just spawn in the places that talk about Poland randomly, okay?
Have some very varied stereotypes. Estonia, they're rich, stuck up, and LARP as Nordics, despite literally not that long ago being part of the Soviet Union. Not gonna lie, I've been. They speak essentially Finnish. Their food is essentially Finnish, and one thing's for sure, they drink like Finns. And Tallinn honestly feels more Nordic than Helsinki, so I give this one 7 out of 10 for accuracy. Latvia is like the complete absolute opposite stereotype. They're broke Eastern Europeans that sit around all day drinking kvass in the forest.
What's
yeah,
a
it
kvass?
might be true the only reason Rail Baltica can't work is because the train would have to go through Latvia and they're corrupt and dead broke.
What?
I just gave you an opportunity of a lifetime, brother. And I'll be damned I'll be disrespected like this.
I don't know about the sitting around all day part. I don't know about the lazy allegations, because the truth is you have to be dedicated, be motivated if you're gonna wake up at the crack of dawn and walk to the liquor store. The truth is alcoholics are the hardest grinders in the world. They're always motivated, working around the clock, working so hard to get what they want in life, that being 45% black balsam. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for accuracy. Lithuania,
45% per volume? Wait. 45% per volume? That's not that much. It's only 45%.
So I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for accuracy. Lithuania, now from my research, the only stereotype about these guys is that they're mean, like cold and unfriendly and introverted. Well, I was in Vilnius airport on a layover for like 45 minutes and some old lady told me which food spot I should avoid because it would give me food poisoning. So I disagree. She had my back and she saved me from E. coli. 0 out of 10 accuracy.
So cute.
Fascists have no voice. Shut up, German. Georgian Legion, not German Legion, you idiot. Georgia is a US state.
What?
I'm gonna crash out! One of the main stereotypes about Georgians is that they're hospitable. This is even depicted in the main statue in the capital, where the woman holds a bowl of wine to greet people who come as friends in one hand and a sword in the other for those who come as enemies. And you know, there have been a lot, I can't lie. And this stereotype is thankfully very true. I get constant DMs from people saying they visited Georgia because of me and they loved it, and the people were all very nice to them, gave them free food, free alcohol, and just a good time. So this stereotype is very true and I'm very grateful for that. Speaking of alcohol though, there is also a stereotype about Georgians being drunk. Now listen, imagine drinking wine that tastes just like the grapes they were feeding Roman emperors. Sweet but not too sweet, and it gets you drunk very nicely. Now imagine you have a whole cellar with literal tons of that wine. You're gonna be chugging it. Honestly though, yeah, this stereotype is partly true because people in rural Georgia get wasted. There is literally nothing there to do other than farm and drink wine. So outside of the cities, there is a huge drinking culture because literally everyone makes their own alcohol or the ethanol disguised as a drink named chacha, which goes up to 80% alcohol, which even the most alcoholic people can't stand more than 3 shots of. But Georgian villages really go crazy on the alk.
Bro, listen, there's nothing better in life than a homemade moonshine by your grandme or something, okay? Listen, a homemade alcohol by like your grandma or made by locals in a place you're visiting. There's nothing better than this. Trust me on that. There is no Christmas holiday without Granny's moonshine.
I'm sitting on the table, I'm like, please, no more, no more. And then they pour up 2 full glasses of wine just for me. I'm just not built like that, bro. But in the cities, we just drink beer and cocktails. Also, I don't know if Geopol mentioned this, but Leo is a bad bitch. Literally, anytime I get drinks with him, Ice Spice starts playing in my head. Because he always gets Aperol Spritz, which is literally reserved for Instagram model. This is the reason why I made a poll in which 91%, or more than 1,500 people voted that Leo was in fact a twink. Another stereotype is that Georgians are very religious, and this stereotype is extremely true. Listen up, bro. If you've literally been only bordered by these buff Turkish and Persian men constantly trying to make you Muslim, and you flex on them by making pork shawarmas and putting 5 Christian crosses in your flag, you gotta have a certain level of dedication that most countries cannot get to. Every taxi driver passing by a church crosses themselves while they're driving for every church they pass, and a lot of people get surprised by this. But when you look at the history at this point, it's more of a fuck you to the constant invasions. So yeah, this stereotype is extremely true. Also, everyone comment Leo.
Moving on, we got Romania. Look, we all know the stereotype. We all know what I'm talking about. All I'm gonna say, I'm about 70% sure that during the singular day I was in Bucharest last year, someone attempted to pickpocket me. They were not successful, but, you know, for some reason, a guy brushed really, really close past my pocket in a completely empty pharmacy when I was looking around. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's all accuracy. All I'm seeing is accuracy. Nah, I'm joking. They do have other stuff to do in Romania than just pickpocket, like human trafficking. Talking about human trafficking, finally, we got the Balkans.
What?
Look, we talked about the Balkans a lot on this channel, and one of the real big stereotypes I get screamed at in the comments, in my DMs, on every single comment section in the world ever, is that they're all Turks. That every individual difference in this region of the world is completely invalid because they're all Ottoman fucking 100% Turkish Turks. And what I have to say about this is 0 out of 10 accuracy. If any of these obsessive, insanely devoted Ottoman nationalists did the tiniest bit of research, they would realize this entire region is rightfully North Macedonian land.
What? I love the memes. Yeah. Oh. Okay, and that is the end. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. I don't know why, but I absolutely enjoy listening to this kind of stuff, you know, Europe this, Europe that. It's really, really, really funny to me. Usually I notice a lot of this kind of content regarding USA, but I cannot say too much about it because, you know, I never been to USA. But when it comes to Europe, I can listen to it and I can be like, yeah, we have the same kind of stereotypes over here in Poland as you have over there or something. And that always makes me really, really happy. So, thank you for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.